Father Senex has journeyed from America to Vatican City to talk to the Pope himself personally. And he says, I have seen the devil. And the angriest woman in the world and her gay husband, I tried to exorcise them, but I was unable to. Maybe if you sent several priests to exorcise the devil from that South Louisiana couple, and the Pope says, well, maybe it wasn't, age can play tricks on your ears and your eyes. And Father Senex says, age, I'm 24. So this is my saint's imagery from October, a few from October. Eventually you'll be able to print them out through saints-imagery.blogspot.com. I'm Melton, son of Carpenter Mary. Dad Carpenter worked on skyscrapers. Mom Marianne. I'm the son of Carpenter Mary. I get to tell everyone. Oh, hi Sandra. Sandra is a very good guardian angel. What's wrong, Sandra? Some of the saints are crying. They have all kinds of cathedrals, churches, and I'm using LA as the backdrop. I don't have any choice. Tell them to get their people coming to see me in person with those photos of those churches and such. Johannes and Marcus are talking, and Johannes says, have you noticed there are a whole lot of the Orientals around, the ones with the small eyes? And Marcus says, well, yeah, they're moving in left and right, all over the place. But we got to be neighborly. It's the right thing to do. And just then Wayne walks past, and Marcus says, well, Wayne, we want to welcome you to Atlantis. And yeah, Wayne just sneers. Oh, that right there, that's Chinese, you know what's on hand. I had to redo that one too. Worked a 55-hour week. His wife's been hard at work too, and they've just sat down to dinner. He looks out and sees the Mormons, LDS, Latter-day Saints, proud of that title. And he says, okay, Ralph, you got this one. And he hands Ralph the 4x6 photo. And he says, you know what to do afterwards. And Ralph goes out the door, meets the Mormons, hands them the Mormons Beware image here. You can print out through these sites, follow the links, look for the Mormons Beware folder, download, print them out, wallpaper your neighborhood with them. And after Ralph hands them the Mormons Beware 4x6 photos, he barks at them until they leave the yard. I'm Melton. Try to call me 424-229-4140. Certify your mail to me. Do this. So Edna's talking to Doris, and she says her husband, Harry, knows someone in the State Department. And they're making their plans for their vacation, and so they wanted to call him up and ask him if there any, hot spots, any spots they shouldn't go to. And Edna says, yeah, it was a surprise. Well, of course, the usual places overseas, but Utah and California. His friend at the State Department said until they can, Utah and California's government officials can give you an answer about John Melton Brady not getting a 9/11 Flight 93 taken a decade, and their very active parts in that, he would not recommend. Take your tourist bucks elsewhere. Oh, don't take his word for it. Try to call me right now.
Rachel lives right next door to Spectrum, and she's noticed that sometimes their noise is a little louder than usual. Their decibel law-breaking fleet. And she's in the laundry room, and Tony tells her, oh, it's because that advocate for one thing or another, I'll leave it to your imagination, lives in the building. And he travels a lot, and when he's there, that's when Spectrum does the decibel law-breaking fleet. Make videos of it. Make videos of you trying to call me John Melton Brady in front of them.
Bill and Wendell are just nosing around, having a little fun. They're computer experts. In between having the doors knocked on and hearing the son of Carpenter marry me. Dad Carpenter worked on skyscrapers, Mom Mary Ann. I'm the son of Carpenter, Stone Cold, Melton, two others. They're looking around, and they somehow got into a Mormon Latter-day Saint computer, and they're marveling, and Bill says, why would they have the names and numbers of all the corrupt federal, state, city, and county officials listed like this? Right where, anyone with knowledge can get to it. Wendell says they're Mormons. Adam is in the kitchen, and he hears all kinds of farting sounds coming from the living room. He goes out and says to Alice's girlfriend, honey, we got company coming over. Please, can you hold that down? And she says, it's not me. It's the TV. And yeah, it's a news show about the Orient. And he says, what are they saying? And Alice says, I don't know. Look at the subtitles, and it says, the continent of Asia appears to be sinking ever more rapidly into the ocean. And at the very end, he turns and yells at the screen, son of a bastard. You know where my fun stuff ends. When you pick up your phone, can't reach me, no one has yet with a 9/11 Flight 93 check in a decade. This remake of the video was stolen from my Instagram and this phone making this video. A Deus Pater with a thick American Italian accent tells the rock chuckers of the Muslim Mideast hanging with the rock chuckers of the Mormon Latter-day Saints. We don't like being attacked from the outside by all those cowardly Husseins. We don't like being attacked from the inside by all those cowardly Husseins. And that rock chucker Romney guy, rich one, was part of that first sham election. You come here, he says in our fictional fun military pitbull project stuff, you're going to be hanging with those rock chuckers, your brothers. Check and post and five. You know where my fun attempts getting fixed and ends. Come see me in person. Have Whitwell travel. Show me a place in Italy to build a Jesus' Immaculate House. A Darren has just been in a really bad car wreck. He went tumbling down the highway. Firefighters used the jaws of life to get him out of that thing. They have him on a stretcher, and Carl is leaning over him and saying, you're going to be all right. We're going to get you to the hospital. You're going to be all right. And he looks up at him and he says, oh, whatever you do, don't let the cops talk to me. Whatever you do, don't let the cops talk to me. I just had a couple. I didn't think I was that bad off. And Carl laughs. He says, oh, don't worry about that. It's not you, it's me. Yeah, I saw the character of LA firefighters, not just once, but just the once recently, as they didn't take me to a good hospital with my insulin poisoning. And yeah, reeked of alcohol. Yeah, I know.
They make me look cool. You don't have to have my hat or my sunglasses to look cool. Try to call me right now, 424-229-4140, and see if the devil's stealing your opportunity to have some Melton's imagery. Make you look good. Make a video of your hijack call to me, 424-229-4140. That is America's hijack lifelines. Not one 9/11 Flight 93 taken over a decade of asking that's Hussein and Trump's phone game. Make a video of it, then come see me in person. Put yourself in that 25,000 plus examples of my work that have just me, the handsome bald guy, in that imagery. Tear down the great wall of evil around me.
This is funny because it wasn't the same. It was the same slideshow, but it wasn't started at the same spot. But it's exactly the same. Or at least it looked like. Handsome bald guy imagery and the shadow. We'll go with you this time. Remember these two, one just before my insulin poison hit big time. And it's still going on. But one last week, Monday. These interviews by phone are telling you, if you can't reach me by phone, you come see me in person. Yeah, 2 in a month, and that's kind of bizarre. Well, no, it's not bizarre. It is different as opposed to the past 50 years. It's a great wall of evil, cracking a great wall of evil. Come tear it down. Be in this imagery with that handsome bald guy right there. You gotta see me in person do that. Devil's people walking among us. In their active part. And oh yeah, it's good. I'm getting the I don't have time. I'm gonna make this shorter, but hitting the URLs. I hope I can get the playlist one. But that goes right there. I'm the man in the shadows with a lot of truth. John Melton Brady. Stone Cold Melton, son of a carpenter Mary. Dad, a carpenter, worked on skyscrapers, Mom Marianne. I've been telling you to try to call me with a check of your lifeline. Can't reach me right now. You have no idea when else your phone won't be allowed to work. And the evil folks conducting that unnewsworthy, it's very documentable, but unnewsworthy censorship are the reason I have insulin poison right now, and I'm also being harassed at an all-time high from Spectrum next door and that Mormon Muslim apartment down below. At least that's what it is lately. If you got a good place, I Google I Google the number of places there are in California, guys, to help a man in a wheelchair, a handicapped man in this situation, if nothing else, being harassed by a neighbor. To find a better place to live, I've been living here a year and a half. I have what I'm told is portability with the subsidized housing I shouldn't need because I'm a graphic artist having my livelihood gauged. I should be making lots of money with this stuff. I can move, and if you're from another state, another place, realize that when I Google, that's the same. I'm not going to get any organization that will be able to do that, help me move. In the same way, you're not going to get me when you try to call me, 424-229-4140. A simple concept that the devil coordinating all this harassment technique and hijacking your call to me right now. Try it, 424-229-4140. Make that video, post that video, and yeah, hand out these Mormons Beware photos to everyone. Next time they knock on your door, hand it to them or just plain say the text. Send a message. We're documenting a character left and right. The Military Pitbull Project. Good Americans are just documenting the character. We don't like you. Case in our neighborhoods when we're working. Kids walking around in the yard, we don't know what you're doing. We don't like you preying on our elderly neighbors. We don't like your connections within the government that says, oh, they're just Mormons, don't mind that, when all of America knows better. Make that video of America's Hijacked Lifelines, hand these things out left and right, hand the fives out. We don't like those Mormons with their Muslim brothers. And we want change. And realize, guys, if you can move me, come see me in person, because you're going to see the most number of impersonators and disinformation of one man ever assembled. Oh, at least in modern times. Come see me, the man in the Immaculate Apartment, 409, looking to move to a decent place. Come see me in person. Make that video a lot of truth. You trying to call me in front of the Mormons saying, how did your church reach this now to taunt them about building Jesus' Immaculate House? What is your very active part with those Muslims that are in your state, on your college campuses? What do you know about this? When else in my family's life I'll not be allowed to work because of what you're an active part in? Certify that mail, and that, as you can see, is a nice GIMP image, a template that, if I can find it, why won't you scroll? There we go. New address right there. Come see me in person. Yeah, put your website defending America from Mormons and others right there. I remember checking posting 5 in front of them. What do you know about this? We don't trust you. You remind us too much of a much larger Jim Jones group. Check and post in 5. Come see me in person if you know how to move a handicap. You know how many different agencies and groups there are out in California that do just that? Come see me. Man showers with a lot of truth. Show me a decent place to live. And let's get started. Building those 1,000 points of light. Tear down the great wall of evil. That's just me and all this imagery. And let's get started on those 1,000 points of light. Put yourself right there. Put your family, your city, right there. Let's get started building a better world. Checking folks in 5. And oh yeah, you see this white part up here? I've got 25,000 images. All I have to put in that white part, it's a 4x6 photo, but the point is I can put a frame for it. I can put the new address, ignore the image address right there. In all these images, and oh well, I bet it within a month. I've got them all updated that way. Waiting on that, me going into the GIMP, but I should have formed from the older ones. And putting a new address. Come see me. Let's get started building a better world. And document the devil casing your neighborhoods and preying on your elderly left and right.
Yeah, it's not showing up. It's definitely loud enough to show up. But for some reason, maybe it's a different pitch. It's not showing up, but I just made my purple about the false Mormon prophet in his limo. And, the presentable ones going out to bilk little old ladies out of their fortunes across, for the savings across America. And the ones that aren't presentable, they send to California and all over America to be a part of the impersonator industry of yours truly. And audibly from down below hit something, a wall or something, and said, going after the kids. We're going after dangerous religious fanatics. Check and post in 5 when the Mormons knock on your door. And Edna are going to visit Edna's sister in another state, and Edna says, did you see that? That's the 5th car I've seen with 2 clean-shaven guys in it and 2 or more bearded
Muslim looking guys. And Harry says, oh yeah, he travels as part of his work. And he says, I see it all the time. All of them headed towards Utah. Do what I do. Take a photo of them, make a video with your phone. Of any suspicious behavior, remember Homeland Security is all of our jobs. Make a video of anything suspicious that those Jim Jones in the making as a state are a part of. Check a post in 544-229-4140 Joe and Mitch are two cops, and they're walking through a room that has some citizens in it. And Joe says to Mitch, you know what's going to happen. It happens every time. We try to investigate what the Mormons, the LDS, Latter-day Saints, are doing in our town. Richard Edgars will come in. Oh, he's a federal guy. Or someone from the county, city, or state, and they'll tell us to shut down the investigation. Yeah, that's why you need to go through the people. And they get back in their office, and he looks out and he says, oh, you think he did it? And he says, oh, Barney, he's always got that audio maker going. Cynthia Elias of Elias Properties in Monroe and West Monroe, Louisiana. Well, any of the Eliases. Dad the carpenter. I'm Melton, son of a carpenter. Married Dad the carpenter. Worked on skyscrapers. Mom Marianne. I'm the son of a carpenter. I get to tell parables. And any of the Eliases can tell you about the incredible change that Devil Laurie went through, became a different person altogether. After Mom and Dad moved on. But she comes, Laurie the Devil goes into she used to work a little bit for them herself, and she goes into the office, and after she leaves, one of them asks the other one, what's wrong with her neck? And she says, no, it's not wrinkles, it's from the head spinning around. She doesn't always turn around right. Jim and Charlie, two Mormon LDS, Latter-day Saint missionaries, are in the South, and they're in Darren's house, and he has some antlers up above the fireplace, and he's explaining to them that it's like a trophy, let everyone know I was out in the wilderness getting my food. And Jim says, oh, we kind of got something like that with our church. And yeah, they're right. I've seen them parading little old ladies in wheelchair, and yes, I've seen them pushing a stretcher down a street with a little old man in it. They like to parade those trophies around, get the truth out about them. Adam has just sat down with Kayla and his kids for dinner when the LDS, Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, interrupt his dinner. He goes to the door. He says, oh, yeah, they told us you were in the neighborhood. And then he hands them, this is a 4x6 photo right here. Never mind the dogs, beware the owners. Phones of Truth, documenting Mormon character and crimes across the country. And it's also got some fives there. He says, it's got my contact. I've been asking for a 911 flight 93 ticket for a decade. I've yet to get one. Make a video if you had that call to me. Those hijacking your calls are worried enough about to all your phone records covered up. So make that video, post that video, and he hands him the two missionaries a 4x6 Mormons beware. And he said, go to the man on the corner with the flag. He's a veteran. He wants to try to call Melton in front of you. And yes, we noticed you were part of placing that cowardly Hussein in our White House. Wang and Ling have just walked into a hardware store in Eagle Rock. And the clerk asks, what are you looking for? And Wang says, kitchen sink. And Ling says, the heaviest one you got. Yeah, I'm Melton, John Melton Brady, son of carpenter, married, daddy carpenter, worked on skyscrapers, mom Mary Ann. I'm the son of carpenter, married, get to tell parables I've been asking for. 9/11 Flight 93 checks for over a decade. That's you picking up your phone knowing it works all the time by calling me. Those hijacking your calls to me, see a vapor trail, make that 9/11 Flight 93 check and post call. See a vapor trail? Oh. Those hijacking your call to me are word enough about all the phone records, cover it up, and it's a reason for my insulin poisoning, for my wheelchair being gone after, for this, for that, the other, kitchen sinks. Gold, we cast a handsome shadow, don't we? Jack had just called up Ralph with Rita, his wife, in Anytown, USA, and he tells them, you've got a Mormon, a family living right next to you, don't you? And Ralph says, oh yeah, that's got to be the ones on the left there. Odd as can be. And Ralph goes on to say, yes, we're Americans for unhijacked lifelines and fairly elected officials, and those folks in federal, state, county, and city positions aren't doing their job to protect us from extremist groups like the cult that is the Mormons, the Latter-day Saints. So if you see anything odd going on with them, and remember checking posting 5 with the Mormons, make a video of what they are doing to post it. Jennifer has just had a vision of Jesus, and he told her to witness the devil. Dial 424-229-4140. That's me. I've been asking for a 9/11 Flight 93 check for over a decade. I have yet to get one. I'm John Melton Brady. There's my contact, that big 5 telling you how to check and post a 5. Giving you my address as well. Certified mail, not one bit of certified mail about those 93 checks in a decade of asking. And the Jennifer does what Jesus says. He says, witness the devil, praying upon your neighbors as well. You must get the word out about them. 424-229-4140. Whatever important thing you get when you don't get me, not going to be born, need firemen, police, paramedics. Kayla cringes as she sees the angriest couple in the world come walking into her restaurant. But they seem oddly nicer tonight. And Oscar, a friend of Kayla's, explains why. Everyone's been documenting Sam and Lori bombs. Active part in America's hijacked lifelines and the anger that drives their blackened hearts and soul. Yeah, they can reach me by phone. If you can't, you need to ask them what they know that allows their phone to work. And yeah, they stage a little slow service and get that anger and then get it on video, and so does the rest of the restaurant. Richard is a federal employee. That's a federal position, and he has been misusing that position for years, for decades, with the Mormons. And he is with a Mormon, a Latter-day Sinner, LDS, proud of that title, in a restaurant. And Jared is just going crazy. He's yelling, he's screaming. You told us we didn't have to worry about any of this. You're looking out for us. We're all getting those 93 checks and being asked about our active participation in America's hijacked lifelines, about our Muslim brothers. You told us we didn't have to worry about that. We were with you. And Richard looks around, everybody's looking, and he wonders at this point how many of them are making a video with their phones and how many police, local, state, federal, have in the past. The 3 Mormon, LDS, Latter-day Saint church princesses are doing what they've been taught to. due since birth, bilk the elderly out of their savings for Utah. The only problem is the little old lady they're talking to is part of the military pit bull project, defending America from the hatred that is the Latter-day Saints and their dangerous connections to the Mideast and the Muslims, their Muslim brothers. When you see them preying on your neighborhood, casing your neighborhoods that are, everybody's off working hard. Wallpaper your neighborhood with those fives about the Mormons. So everyone tried to call John Melton Brady in front of them. That's me. I've been asking for a 9/11 Flight 93 check for a decade, and I haven't gotten one, and they're an active part in our high-tech lifelines.
Abigail is out at the street with Spock, a Spectrum, formerly Time Warner cable, a tech guy and installer, and she says, "Oh my, that's too bad. Why would folks be that mean?" Spock's got another call to go to. Install a phone that doesn't work. Try to call me with it, 424-229-4140, and make a video of that. He's on his way to that, but someone is parked directly behind him, directly in front of him, so he can't do that. And yeah, the cop shows up, and he asks the guy to move, and the guy in the back moves, and as Spock moves his truck with its decibel law breaking, they get it on decibel law and video equipment.
No Wan is an Oriental fellow that works in California's government somewhere, and he always seems to know when something bad's gonna happen. And he's at this get-together of police, firemen, officials, and one of them, Doug, comes running in, and he says, "No when." Parked his car on the street. He always uses parking garage. He parked his car on the street. And the cop, he's talking to this, thinks he knows what's going on. They run downstairs, and yes, the entire parking structure is flooded. You know where my fun stuff is. Check and post in 5-424-229-4140. Make a video of America's high-tech lifelines, not 193 check in a decade. Jack and Adam are two Protestants from different religions who recognize the devil walking among us, the wolves among all of Christianity, the worst kind, the Mormons, the Latter-day Saints, and as they have that new image in boxes of 4x6 photos to hand their flocks, Adam explains they're making a video as well. The harassment techniques they're using against the man in the wheelchair, John Melton Brady, and Eagle Rock were not devised just for him. They're doing that in our neighborhoods worldwide. We need to get the truth out about the Mormons. We don't like a case in our neighborhoods, preying on our elderly. Sarge has a flash drive full of imagery from one and only Stone Cold Melton. John Melton Brady, son of a carpenter, married Daddy Carpenter, worked on skyscrapers, Mom Mary Ann. I'm son of a carpenter, I get to tell parables. And he says, remember how I told you he's sick from the insulin poisoning of the devil's people walking among us? He's not at his best. He will, be at his best when he gets his ass kicking boots. So he's still feeling sick, but here's that image he designed. Send it home to your families so they can put it on their front doors and let the Mormons know we're watching them and their Muslim brothers. Semper Fi, aim high, fight with this, we will defend. So the general is talking with Trump as he's applying some plaster to his hair
And he says, you won't believe what Spectrum's doing. Openly conducting harassment techniques against John Melton Brady. Man asking America for a 9/11 Flight 93 check for a decade and not getting one. Harassing a man in a wheelchair over truth. And I hear they're making all kinds of pornos of folks all across America with their modems and cable boxes on my fun fiction. Well, maybe not. You didn't do anything kinky in anything with a Spectrum cable box nearby, and Trump says, does firing somebody in a sexy maid outfit count? We were at a party this Saturday night where they are showing some of Melton, a parable videos, short videos. I'm Melton, son of a carpenter, married dad carpenter, worked on skyscrapers, Mom Mary Ann. I'm the son of a carpenter, I get to make parables, and this, in particular, they're watching the insulin poisoning attack videos, the ones I've been making the past 3 weeks in particular. And Adam calls Claudia over, his girlfriend. He says, oh, look at this video here. He says the Chinese sound like farting when they talk, and Claudia watches the video and says, well, they sound like farting when they talk. I guess that's why they have such horrendous breath. Oh, Claudia, that's not their breath. That's their soul, their character, being smelled by the world. Check and post at 5. Not one bad comment yet. Not any comment. Check and post at 5. Oh yeah, my package finally got here after UPS took part in taunting a man in a wheelchair undergoing insulin poisoning in bizarre fashion. And I think this right here, it's those who managed all of that telling me they really liked that parable about Osama applying whiteout to his son Obama, Hussein, excuse me, and folks all over the place putting whiteout on Barack and Obama, so the Hussein part's there. Yeah, Osama, I'm told, I haven't got one comment about that in 10 years of the Osama rumor that Obama is Osama's son. Applied whiteout, sending his son to Harvard and Hawaii so they could place him in the White House right after 9/11. Frank has just shown up at Jim's house. They were both in the military together. Now they're in military streets. You can call it that. And Frank says, Jim, why did you move your family out of New York? And Jim says, well, I got that hush-hush work going on with the Mormons, Latter-day Sinners, LDS, proud of that title. I wanted my wife and kids to be closer to me. And Frank says, well, it just looks odd. I wasn't sure why you did that. He turns and there on the TV is the World Trade Center attack. Worst kind of traitors are those hiding within the military with the Mormons, the Latter-day Sinners, and their Mideast connections. Defend America from that. Check and post in 5. See a vapor trail? 9/11, Flight 93. Check and post in 5. You trying to call me? I'm Melton, John Melton Brady. I haven't got a 9/11 Flight 93 check that you reaching me with, and knowing that your phone works all the time. I haven't gotten one call in over a decade of asking. Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets, the side of children and truth. And yes, before you send your children to a Dignity Health doctor, you need this answer. What do you know about John Melton Brady asking for 93 checks for over a decade and not getting one? And your incredibly bad treatment in his hospital, same for the LA Fire Department before you send your tourists out here. Wouldn't take me to decent medical treatment because of that 10 years.